Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another episode of FitzRupee Cast featuring Dawn of War 2 Retribution. Red-Rupee here with you today, and as you can see, we have a one-on-one match featuring none other than our intrepid Imperial Guard Lord General. And this was just such a great freeze frame of him, I had to zoom in on it, because nothing personifies the attitude of an Imperial Guard commander more than a madman charging forward, decked out in his Death Corps of Krieg outfit, with his sword and gun held on high, just ready to charge into the enemy like a madman. So that's what I love about Imperial Guard. On the other side, we have our Lictor Alpha, of course, being led by the will of the nebulous hive mind, or in this case, Mr. Kalzi4. Of course, he is the red team. On the blue team, we have Predators. Forgot to introduce him, so there you go with that. So I was excited to cast this game because, hey, look, we have no Space Marine and no Chaos, and that's hard to come by these days, getting good replays with neither of those races in it. And they are very much played all the time, so kind of a problem coming up with other stuff. People say, hey, Red-Rupee, don't you play Tech Marine all the time? And yes, I do. I'm trying to branch out. Been playing some Eldar Warp Spider recently in my one-on-one games, so that's pretty cool. I actually ran into Kalzi4's nasty little Lictor Alpha here the other day, and he beat me in about 2 minutes and 30 seconds. I think I would have declared the game over at that point. So a very solid player, and me not good at Warp Spider, so working on that, trying to branch out a little bit. Anyways, that's enough about my personal one-on-one campaign right now. Let's go ahead and take a look at the game. Opening cap's going pretty standard. Predator's got himself an Imperial Guardsman squad and a Sentinel. Lictor already captured that contested point and now looking for some trouble. Not going to engage with that Sentinel around though. That can be quite bothersome for him. And as you can see, the Sentinel can actually detect for a small radius around it. So he can actually spot that Lictor relatively easily. So the Lord General running around separate from the army, trying to get some early caps in. There goes the stomp, knocking that Lictor over, and Predator's opting to get himself a third Guardsman squad already. Kalzi4 has some spore mines on the field as well for some early intimidation. You can really control the map with those in these first couple engagements because there's not much that Guardsmen can do, especially with Imperial Guard on the field. If 2 spore mines pop, that's pretty much it for an entire Guardsman squad, so we might see that come into play later on. Right now, Kalzi just kind of playing defensively, waiting until he can get a good position on the Sentinel to try to either force it away or take it out. And in the meantime, you can see Kalzi sent some Hormagaunts around back, forcing off these Guardsmen, and in a great position now to maybe sneak an extra generator kill and take out some power of Mr. Predators. So some good early game aggression, very sneaky, and as soon as that Sentinel pulls back, you can see that Kalzi does not hesitate to send those Termagants all over the place and take back some maps. So good play by Kalzi, really forcing the opponent to react. Sentinels are, of course, very difficult to deal with in these early engagements, so you never want to really directly engage them if you can help it, but force them to react to different parts of the map while you can let yourself get some map control. So there goes one spore mine, and oh man, a second pops, and actually you can see that takes the whole squad down to about 60 health right there, so each member probably only had 10 health left. So if they were under any fire at all, they would have gone down. So those spore mines, very potent here in the early stages of the game. So with the Lictor Alpha on the field, I would expect that Predators will probably be bringing on some Catachans or something, so you can keep track of that Lictor a little better and keep him off the field. There goes a nice looking flesh hook. And Lord General's probably going to have to get out of there. Although, all things considered, Imperial Guard versus the Lictor isn't as bad early game as you might expect. The Lictor can't really be flesh hooking expensive models like he can against other races. Of course, if he can get your hero, but that's about it. He can't flesh hook the Sen, and the Guardsman, I mean, losing a Guardsman to a flesh hook is almost just not worth it for the Lictor. So don't have to worry about losing Guardsmen or Guardians or Scouts or anything like that, like some of the other races do. So again, we're seeing the Kalzi just picking and choosing his engagements very carefully, pushing back single squads and trying to isolate things, not wanting to engage the full Imperial Guard army. You can see some warriors on the field now engaging this Sentinel. Predator's actually not going for the not going for the Catachin squad, instead choosing to get the heavy weapons team on the field. And this sneaky, bothersome Sentinel just running all over the place, harassing wherever it can. VP is just constantly changing hands back and forth, so pretty, you know, just about spot on even so far. They're just kind of ticking down towards the end of the game. Not really in one favor or the other. And Kalzi now going for double Warrior Broods on the field, and I'm sure we'll see at least one of those, if not both, go Barb Strangler. I doubt we'll see 2 Barb Stranglers, but Barb Strangler is very effective against these Guardsman blobs, and suppress the whole lot of them and do some pretty reasonable damage to their very high model count squads. Of course, we're dealing with 2 of the swarmiest races right now, and oh man, there's the heavy weapons team. Actually behind a little bit of cover right there, you can see that's not often utilized. But for a heavy weapons team, if you got a good spot for it, go ahead and pop down those couple Dragon Teeth and hop behind that and unload on your enemy. So the Lictor a bit outnumbered here, trying to grab that, looks like he grabbed that Sarge right out of that pile, so good eye by Kalzi. And Lictor getting very low, looks like he's going to get out of there though. But unfortunately for Kalzi, Predators is just in a prime spot now to go ahead and just bash away all this power. He's nice and lobbed up here now. Those Barb Stranglers, of course, gonna be a problem. Kalzi going for some Raveners while Predators headed into Tier 2. So gonna be behind on tech as he is investing a lot in this early Tier 1 battle. But with that Barb Strangler getting off a shot, Predators has no port. Sorry about that. No option but to retreat from Kalzi's swarm here. So good play by Kalzi. Managed to protect the majority of his farm right there. Almost lost the node, but managed to keep that away. And in the meantime, you can see some Tyranids running around back behind this gun. It's been having to readjust, trying to get some different shots in as the various Gaunt and Gant swarms surround it. So Kalzi's doing a good job of trying to keep the war open on multiple fronts right here. Ravener's going in for a Burrow Strike on that heavy weapons squad. It has to fall back immediately. And now this Sentinel in a bit of a tricky spot. Should be able to get away from those Raveners. Those need to fall back before they lose an expensive model. But now the Barb Stranglers are right here and the tables have just instantly turned. You can see now Kalzi is threatening Predator's power farm, but there is a Chimera coming onto the field as Kalzi just starts to go into Tier 2. So this is going to be a perfect timing push for the Imperial Guard to really just get this vehicle on the field while Kalzi has no answer to it. It is a 3-0 cap against Predators right now though, so he really needs to get out there on the map. And he's been doing a great job of staying out there, but you can see the second he has to fall back, Kalzi has so many squads that he can just run around and just take the whole map by storm. And oh no, the Lictor getting a bit too brazen trying to decap that wreck point, and he does go down to the Sentinel and the 2 squads of Guardsmen. It's kind of difficult sometimes. You underestimate the output of the 2 Guardsmen squads, but it's pretty high even on retreat. And the Lord General actually just hanging out kind of vanilla, no war gear for him. He's just running around separately trying to push some map back, can engage any one Gaunt squad pretty well on his own. So in the meantime, Warriors on the field, they are pretty beat up though, and if the Sentinel gets a stomp off, I'm sure they'll be losing some members. The Guardsmen have already been upgraded with their Commissars. One squad has plasma rifles, the other is upgrading right now, so those Warriors are going to have to be very careful engaging these Guardsmen, as those plasma rifles will do extra damage to their heavy armor. So everything's hopping inside of that Chimera. That Barb Strangler is not nearly the threat that it used to be because Predators can just micro in and out of his transport in between shots and unleash some plasma devastation on top of those Warrior Broods. Looks like the Raveners pushed off. The Lord General took out both of his retinue members and now able to take these bottom 2 victory points back for himself. But oh no, it looks like Predator's going to be able to take out the farm for real this time. There's nothing that Kalzi can do about this yet. He's finally Tier 2 and getting himself a zone probe. So that'll really put a hurting on this infantry heavy build that Predators is running right now with all 3 of these Guardsman squads. We're having a call and come down and some spore mines just popping right out on top of that squad. It is going to have to retreat and get out of position. And wow, just look at the spores exploding, causing terrible damage to these guard squads right here. And there's the summary execution. I love that ability. It's so useful, and it's just a perfect example, I feel like, of what Imperial Guard are supposed to be. Your men are running away, you shoot one in the head and say, anyone else that falls back, you're gonna die too, so you may as well die fighting. So Hormagaunts almost go down. Look like they get out of there. This heavy weapons team trying to get set up, but not doing much of a job of it. And uh-oh, it looks like Kalzi's forgetting about his Termagants down here. Oh, and they go down to the Lord General. In the meantime, Chimera's all loaded up with the infantry, just falling back right now, trying to get some harassing shots in on this Lictor. There goes a warrior. They're going to be engaged in melee now, and oh man, look at all the guardsmen just get obliterated by that first zone throw shot. Oh man, there go about half a dozen more. Those warriors in a bad spot though. I don't think they're going to get out of there. That Barbed Strangler in a lot of trouble. Oh no! There he goes, and there goes another swarm of guardsmen just getting obliterated by that zone throw. I think I heard a creeping basilisk barrage. Yeah, you can see it over here. There's the scorch marks on the ground, and it looks like that warrior brood got pretty beat up by it. Zone throw having to retreat through lots of fire, getting very, very dangerously close to dying right there. Zone throws are just so useful against Imperial Guard, but if they get caught out of position even just slightly, you can see the danger they are in. So now the Chimera is running away without its infantry, trying to harass these injured capping squads and forcing them away. Kalzi's power farm is just completely gone now. Predators did a good job of playing very aggressively. Kalzi just needs to get some sort of answer out for this Chimera, because it's just running around causing all sorts of trouble for everyone. And really giving Predators some great map control right now. It's a 1-1 cap, and again the VPs are just staying neck and neck throughout this game. Predators, I feel like, is doing pretty well. He took out Kalzi's hero once and managed to snag the Warrior Brood and Termagants in these past few engagements. So I think it's looking pretty good for him. All he's really going to have to do is be mindful of this zone throw. There are some Venom Broods on the field now too, which is going to put a lot more pressure on that Chimera. Lord General finally got himself an upgrade, has his sergeant, so he's going to be doling out med packs to the men. You can see that pretty much just completely negates that first zone throw shot that was fired upon them, so lets them stay on the field a lot better without having that Chimera around, which is currently roaming around and just protecting VP caps, loading and unloading troops, exactly how you want to see that used. Both players doing a great job of maintaining multiple fronts on this battle. Predators has to get forced back over here by a couple squads, Raveners and Adrenal Gland Warriors. Another call-in coming in from Kalzi, and it looks like we're seeing the Flak Jacket come in as well for the Lord General. Has his sniper rifle also. That sniper rifle actually is a great tool against those zone throws, because it does increase the range once he uses his ability with all his troops. Lictor getting caught out of position again, making him fall back. But that sniper rifle lets you get in those extra shots and lets you force and fire into those zone throws and force them on the field a bit earlier than you would expect to. Anyways, looks like Predator's getting pushed back throughout the map here. Has a Manticore on the field now, which will be great for holding those VPs against those pesky captain squads. The VPs are so spread out in this map that it'll be nice to have just the option to drop an artillery strike when you see one getting captured, and try to force off any squads that Kalzi isn't directly paying attention to. Up top we have the Venom Cannon and the Zone Throat moving around. This is really the force that needs to be hunting down that Chimera right now, because it is still just running all over the place, doing a great job of causing damage. And oh no, these Raveners are in a lot of trouble. Chimera just came up behind it, unloaded all kinds of guardsmen, and down goes the squad. That's another squad loss for Kalzi. Here comes another creeping Basilisk barrage, just tearing through and forcing off squads left and right. That's either the second or third one of those that I've already seen drop so far this game. Lictor Alpha been upgraded with his Toxin Miasma, which will give him a DOT and sort of slow down and reduce damage of any units that he attacks with that. Unfortunately, he jumped in but didn't attack. You got to remember, whenever your squads are stealth, they won't automatically attack anything. They will. You have to really make sure that you issue an attack order because they will try to stay hidden. So a rough engagement right here. Oh no, here comes a Manticore strike, and look, just standing right in the middle of that flare because he knows where the rockets are going to fall. Predators with a nice play there, forcing off Kalzi's bug mobs right there. And 241 to 249. Kalzi finally getting a slight VP lead, and now going to be able to put a little pressure on this chimera. And a couple more Venom Cannon shots, and it's going to go down. He needs to engage that right now. Oh no, the Venom Cannons take out that Chimera, and that's really been the core of Kalzi's attack force right now. So he's not hesitating to instantly build another one of those and keep himself on the field. So you can see what Kalzi's done here, or sorry, what Predator's done here rather. If you look at the upgrades, he has one Imperial Guardsman squad that's not upgraded at all, and the other two are his main attack squads. A Tyrant Guard is on the field now, but Predators instantly reacted to that with a las cannon, keeping it from running around and doing too much damage. These Rippers are being used to excellent means and trying to keep those Plasma Guardsmen from firing on anything, while Kalzi gets all of his Warrior Broods in position to start causing some hurt. So you can see Kalzi's not even been worrying about reinforcing these Hormigons, just using them as a weak little capping squad there. 3 members in that, no point in worrying about the upkeep or reinforcing on those. Use them as capping only. His real force at this point is the Tyrant Guard, the Zone Probes, and Warriors. Ogren's also coming onto the field for Predators right now. Going to be a big, heavy melee force. Kalzi probably going to have a hard time dealing with that, and Kalzi actually bringing a second Tyrant Guard onto the field right now as well. So I'm not sure what he intends to do with those. Obviously, those are pretty difficult for the Imperial Guard to deal with. Of course, these 2 Plasma squads are going to deal some pretty heavy damage to their super heavy armor. Kalzi also bringing a second Zone Probe onto the field right now. Or actually, it looks like he may have just canceled that first Tyrant Guard, or that second Tyrant Guard, and activated the Zone Probe. That may have just been an Overwatch issue. But it would have been interesting to see how that worked out. Again, this Chimera under fire from these Venom Cannon Warrior Broods. Another call-in coming in. We've just been seeing Rippers and Spore Mines constantly falling from the sky right here. Those Warriors need to be very careful around these Plasma Guardsmen, though. Again, seeing the Guardsmen having to retreat from the Spore Mines, I'm sure they will just execute and turn right around and open fire. There it goes. Excellent use of that by Predators so far this game, keeping himself on the field at all times. Now this Tyrant Guard's encountered with a few Ogrins over here, which are taking damage from that Zone Probe. These Adrenal Gland Warrior Broods, though, might be able to take them out, though, with the help of that Zone Probe. They are taking quite a bit of damage and will have to fall back. Got to be careful with those Ogrins. They are very tough, but unsupported against a few different squads, they're not going to do too much. Zone Probe getting dangerously close to going down right there after getting caught out of position against those Plasma Warriors. It escapes with a mere 3 HP. Very fortunate, but it looks like, oh no, good play by Kalzi. That Lictor was actually slowing down this Chimera, allowing the Tyrant Guard to get in there and cause some damage. Almost took it out. If that Chimera goes down again, Predators will actually probably be in a pretty tough position. And right now we're going to see that Tyrant Guard turtle up, and oh man, the Venom Cannon Warrior Broods actually snuck in and fired the last couple shots needed to take out that troop transport. And now all of the Imperial Guardsmen are going to have to fall back.
So we're losing a victory.
Looks like Termagon's getting obliterated down here. I'm not sure if Kalzi missed that or was just getting rid of them to lose the upkeep at this point in the game, because they're really not going to do much against anything the Predator has on the field right now. Good reaction time by Kalzi right there, getting those Venom Warriors away from that Manicore strike. Still going to have to retreat him, but got the decap down. Doing a good job of really keeping his map presence up. It's 170 to 257, despite losing quite a few squads here so far. And you can just see this Lictor one-shotting Guardsman. With that quick attack speed, it's no joke at all.
I am under attack.
Good play there, launching the Lord General away so he can get at those expensive retinue members. And yeah, it looks like the first thing he took out was that sergeant. So good play there.
I hear you. Orders, sir. Go ahead,
Oh, actually, nope, the sergeant is still up. My bad. There he is, right there with his nice little chainsword and his mid packs. So Kalzi4 going into tier 3. Oh man, this Tyrant Guard is caught way out of position right up here. Has the las cannon firing on it. Lots of Ogrins beating it up. And I'm not actually sure if it's going to get away in time. It's going to turtle up, but I don't think even in its shelled form it can resist some Ogrins pounding on it. There goes a creeping Basilisk Barrage to kind of keep those Ogrins under wraps. And yeah, its HP is gradually going down. It's not going to survive at this point in the game. And there it goes. So Tyrant Guard's down. That's one major thorn in the side of Predators off the field, but another one is coming on because here comes the Carnifex. With a third Chimera on the field, Kalzi's trying to put some more pressure on this Tyranid force, but unfortunately that's exactly where that Chimera doesn't want to be. And he doesn't have those guardsmen repairing it. You always want to have your guardsmen repairing vehicles whenever they're on the field. They repair very quickly and they only use one member, so the other 11 will still be firing into the enemy at that point. So, oh man, here we go. Venom Cannon Carnifex is on the field. That Chimera needs to get out of there right now. Oh man, look at the Guardsman just getting blasted into bits. 2 quick shots of that Venom Cannon and the Chimera goes down. There's 3 Chimeras down for Predators. And man, just lots of damage happening right there. That Zone Throw always just obliterating Guardsmen whenever it comes into play with them. And Zone Throw actually pretty effective against the Lord General. Normally they're not that great against heroes, but since the Lord General's HP is split between many different members, does pretty nice damage against them. Ripper's getting dropped once again, engaging this las cannon, preventing it from firing on that Carnifex. Looks like Kalzi really wants to try to take out this Manicore at this point in the game, but not quite getting in position to do it. And here comes another drop. That's got to be sporemine since Ripper's just fell down. Oh, nice looking bioplasma shot from that Venom Cannon. This is buying Kalzi plenty of time to really take back some map because there was a pretty solid cap against him. It's 2-0 right now, you see, but he's capturing back most of the VPs. And really forcing Predators to focus all of his energy, trying to take out this Carnifex and keep that Manicore on the field. In the meantime, Warriors with the Venom Cannon engaging these Guardsmen in melee. They don't do too much, but of course they're going to be Guardsmen. And this Venom Cannon Carnifex actually probably should have pulled out. I think it's too late for him. Yeah, there goes the last cannon shot, and the Ogrins finish it off. So that's a big loss for Kalzi. I think he really shouldn't have sent that to its doom, but he managed to get the VPs back and kept that from going into a negative lead. He's still got a 10-point advantage with a 2-0 cap. Needs to get these Venom Cannons out of here, though, before the Ogrins home in on him and take him out. And up top we have the 2 Zone Throws now on the field. Lictor Alpha completely decked out now. He's got his Deadly Jump, his Toxin Miasma, and the Lone Hunter, which is just a very cool upgrade I like to see. Basically, when the Lictor is out on his own, he does 50% more damage and takes 25% less damage. And oh man, you can just see how much he's doing. I think he does around 60 DPS with this. Yeah, 63. So with that 50% bonus, not including warrior level, he's doing quite a bit. Warrior's trying to fight Guardsmen off of the point right here. And actually, I want to note that when units are capturing the point, they will not engage in melee. The units that aren't directly engaged will keep firing. So those warriors actually were probably taking quite a bit of damage from these plasma shots right here. Because Guardsmen are so numerous, they manage to retain most of their DPS so long as most of them are firing. Oh man! And almost losing the entire squad to that pair of Zone Throats right there. Ripper's being used to excellent effect, once again keeping those plasma Guardsmen from doing any real damage to anything. Kalzi has just been dropping squads all over the place. Lictor now way back behind the front line, really putting his lone hunter to use. And, oh man, might actually take out this Manticore if he's not careful. Ogryns encounter him, so he's just going to have to fall back right now. Another creeping Basilisk barrage going off somewhere. Here it is up here. Man, and that's all this game has been, is just call-ins from everyone. We've got artillery strikes from the Imperial Guard. We've got endless call-ins of rippers and spore mines from the Tyrannid player. And oh no, look what we've got coming in from Mr. Kalzi, the big bad Swarm Lord right now. 95 to 165 with a 2-0 cap. Despite doing tons of damage, Predator is now suffering from map control, and really you can just see the dependence Imperial Guard has on vehicles at this point in the game, because as soon as those chimeras started dropping, Predator started to lose his footing, and really costing him some map control at this point in the game. He has a 4th chimera on the field, and he's really going to need to keep that around if he intends to win this game, because he's lost 3 already. And it's just getting costly at this point, keeping him from getting anything big tier 3 on the field. I think he's probably going to need himself Lemon Russ or something at this point to deal with that Swarm Lord, and there's just not going to be too much he can do about it once it hits the field and he starts stomping around here. So looks like Warrior Brutes trying to go in, get some kills here, but that's way too much for them to deal with. Buying some time, certainly, though, for that zone throw to get in plenty more shots on these guards. I mean, every time you see that zone throw fire, I mean, all you see is about half a dozen +3s drop down, really putting the hurt on those guardsmen at this point. And the Lictor now fighting a solo battle against these Ogryns. You can just see the damage he's doing with each shot of that Toxin Miasma with the Lone Hunter upgrade. Unfortunately, I think those Hormagaunts got a bit too close and negated that, but oh no, here comes the Swarm Lord, taking a good bit of damage already, but I don't think that last cannon alone is going to be able to deal with it. Rippers finally engage it and manage to prevent that Swarm Lord from getting slowed down, and it's activated its healing anyways. So these guardsmen are doing everything in their power to stay away from that Swarm Lord. Meanwhile, the Lictor's running back behind the front lines again, engaging this Manticore. Doesn't look like Predator sees it. He hasn't started moving it at all yet, so it does look like it's going to go down. It finally starts to turn around, but it's a bit too late. And oh man, look at this Chimera. This is a deadly chase if I've ever seen one. Look at that. I mean, if I were inside of that Chimera, I would be terrified. I know that for one thing. Also, hey, look, there's a Commissar. That's one of my favorite things about the Death Corps of Krieg, is that all your vehicles get little Commissars on top. But this is looking pretty dire for Mr. Predators right now. 55 VPs. The last VP that he has is getting captured right now. Ogryns are going to be able to take out these Hormagaunts and Lictor, but I don't think he's going to be able to get the VPs back in time. That Chimera's looking very low. If that zone throw gets one last shot off. Oh man, it's slowed down. They're moving in for a kill shot. The Swarm Lord taking out that Lord General. And oh no, Lictor sneaks in and takes out that Chimera. Level 8 Lictor does quite a bit of damage, even to vehicles at this point in the game. And 28 points, all ticking down, a 2-0 cap, trying to get the decap with these Ogryns, but once that Swarm Lord approaches, there's not too much they're going to be able to do. They're going to have to fall back, and really there's just no way for Predators to stay on the field at this point. There goes a final creeping Basilisk barrage, scaring those warriors off the field. These guardsmen will actually be able to take out these Hormagaunts most likely, but not going to be able to hold the field, I don't think. 2 zone throws finishing off. Kalzi just has all of the VPs locked down. A 5 to 116 cap, but there's the GG from Mr. Predators. And wow, what a game. I honestly thought the Predators had it in the bag at the beginning, but once those vehicles went down, we just saw everything go to hell, and the Imperial Guard just continuously getting pushed off the map after those zone probes come on the field without any vehicle support. So, oh man, there's a nice shot of one final Ogryn falling there to the Swarm Lord right at the Imperial Guard outpost. So, hope you guys enjoyed the game. Excellent play by both players. Kalzi really identified the threats and managed to take them out. Keeping those Chimeras on the field is crucial against Imperial Guard. And This Lictor pulling all kinds of tricks throughout the game. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I know I did. Thanks for watching. Feel free to subscribe or comment. I always appreciate it, and I will catch you guys next time.